Hello, welcome to Nonprofits for the Future, the Roadmap to New Funding Sources. I'm Drew Hackman, and you are in Module 4. In this section, I will discuss what strategic partnerships are and how you can leverage them for a variety of reasons to further your mission. Let's take a look at some definitions. Strategic, carefully designed or planned to serve a particular purpose or advantage. And partnership, a formal arrangement where parties agree to cooperate to advance their mutual interests. So if I throw these together, a strategic partnership is a carefully designed formal arrangement to serve a particular cooperative purpose or mutually beneficial advantage. I love just mashing up things together, don't you? Okay, strategic partnerships. As usual, look before you leap. Don't fall into the trap of jumping into a relationship. Vet, do your due diligence, and determine if they're an appropriate suitor. This is going to be a courting process, and it might even feel like dating. There might be some tension that you might have to get through. There might be some disagreements, but ultimately, if you're all on the same page and you share the same vision and there are mutual benefits, then you'll be in good shape. So how do we know if it will be a strategic partnership? Analysis, comfort, communication, and expectations that fit what you are looking for. Okay, let's take a look at finding strategic partnerships. If I could boil down strategic partnerships to one phrase, it would be win-win. A win for you and a win for them. With social profit organizations, however, you want to further your mission and help your beneficiaries as well. So in that case, I like to say that social profit organizations like yours need to stay focused on win-win-wins. Wins for you, wins for them, and wins for your mission or the people that you're trying to help. Okay, so what do the partners do? Why is a strategic partnership a good thing? Well, partners can help you accomplish a variety of goals. They can help you access new markets that you're not in currently. And this is a really big one. They can expand your brand awareness. So one of the main advantages a nonprofit partnership can offer is increased visibility for your brand. Natural cross-promotion can allow you to easily reach another organization's network. And depending on the nature of the partnership, that partner can feature you on their website, their social channels, or regular communications in their community. Think about whether or not there's a specific audience that you want to target. Do you want to reach a certain age group, or do you want to reach a new audience that doesn't necessarily fit into that ideal customer profile that we talked about? Your answers to that can help you narrow down potential partners whose audiences would include the people that you want to reach. You could also increase your sales in existing markets. You could improve your access to technology and therefore reduce admin costs. You could gain human and financial capital. And finally, just to name a few, you could increase the range of services you offer. For example, this relationship can work like a referral program where each party directs constituents to the other for further support. Let's say you're a nonprofit that provides access to food for underserved communities, but some of them, the people coming to you, the beneficiaries, they're unemployed and they're seeking resources like computers for job searching or brushing up their resumes. And maybe the local library limits the amount of time that you can use their equipment so they can't go there and they come to you. Well, rather than being everything for everybody, your program doesn't have the technology to reach all your beneficiaries, but you might partner with an organization that does. Then you can refer them to your constituents. You can refer your constituents to your partner, who can then do the same for you. I should say your beneficiaries. Refer your beneficiaries to your partner, not your constituents. Although you could call them constituents, and sometimes they are both. So by partnering, then both organizations can expand the services they provide without ballooning their budgets and trying to be everything for everybody. Okay, so we know what's in it for you, but what's in it for them? And this is just as important. It doesn't make sense to go to a corporation or a for-profit or another nonprofit and start asking for things and trying to say all the reasons it helps you. Because remember, it has to be a win-win-win. They have to have something as well. Well, there's this super buzzy buzzword called corporate social responsibility, or CSR. It's super popular, especially now in 2018. It's been gaining traction for a long time, but it's really starting to accelerate. This is essentially the notion that for profit businesses are being pressured by employees and consumers alike to be responsible. So they're incorporating things like the triple bottom line, which means they look at the financial bottom line, but they also look at their environmental impact and their social impact, either to others outside their organization or to their employees themselves. Because employee retention, especially with the millennial generation being a large portion of the workforce now, is extremely important. And as we talked about before with our example of Mile High Workshop, we mentioned that keeping an employee is way less expensive than training a new one. So there's a huge incentive for corporations to do right by their employees and keep them on board. And one of the ways to do that is by proving to them that they are doing good and being responsible as an organization and as a corporation. So your organization can be that missing piece that they need. You can help their brand, and that's a huge selling point. Okay, but how do you go about determining what type of strategic partnerships you should have? Well, remember when we did those SMART goals? That's a really good place to start. List out all of your SMART goals and look at the ones that might be able to be accompanied with companies that can help you achieve those goals. So when you write down all the companies that can help you achieve those goals, try to broaden your horizons a little bit. Get creative and think about multiple sectors that you might be able to get involved with. Maybe they're not exactly in your lane, but you share a common vision. Pinpoint their needs and how your organization can fill their gaps. Remember, think about what's in it for them. Put yourself in their shoes. One of the big points is that CSR, that corporate social responsibility. Make sure anything that you write out, the benefits for them are real. And what I mean by that is that you're not putting rose-colored glasses on. Be very pragmatic and be very objective when at all possible when writing out the actual benefits that they might get. And it might even help if you get feedback from neutral third parties to say, hey, is this really a benefit for them, or am I just being optimistic? Finally, sort that list to find the companies or organizations that would benefit the most through a partnership. You can even do a weighted grading system if you'd like, and give a 10 or a 5 or a 1 to things that might be most important or have the biggest benefit. And then look at those corporations as your low-hanging fruits. Here are a few more tips. Have a clear, mutually shared vision. This is incredibly important. Upwards of 90% of corporations that engage in these types of relationships say that a mutually shared vision is the most important thing for them. Be intentional and focused on your why. Be really clear about why you're doing what you do and why you're seeking a strategic partnership. This not only proves to yourself that this is the right way to go, but it also proves to your potential partner that you're really confident in who you are. And like in any relationship or any courting process, confidence is extremely important. Keep their why in mind as well. They have to benefit from this too. Be extremely clear about what it is that they need and what gaps you're helping to fill. Don't rush the process. This could take some time. It might even be uncomfortable negotiating at first, but the important thing is that you don't compromise your vision. If you feel like you're getting pulled too far away from your mission or your vision, it's time to step back and say, maybe this isn't the right thing for us. Although that negotiation could be a little uncomfortable. Again, as long as you're heading in the right direction and your mission and vision aren't compromised, it's just part of the game. Finally, it can be pretty important to have an explicit agreement in place, something that's down on paper for two reasons. One, it is something you can always point back to if, as a last resort, you need to have some sort of legal back and forth. But more importantly, writing down something on paper helps both parties be very explicit about the type of relationship that you're having, what your expectations are, and the language that's used in that relationship. And what's more important about having it down on paper is spurring that conversation so that you can all be on the same page. Here are a few quick examples. You might remember these. I know I do. General Mills has that Box Tops for Education program. And for every box top that you send back in, they donate 10 cents to Box Tops for Education to help underserved communities with education and scholarship programming. Yoplait Yogurt does the Save Lids to Save Lives campaign in support of the Susan G. Komen for the Cure. So that's again another 10 cents for every pink lid that consumers turn in. This is a great win-win because it helps the Susan G. Komen for the Cure further their mission, and it also helps Yoplait with that amazing brand awareness so that people associate Yoplait with doing something good. It increases the propensity for the consumer to buy Yoplait instead of Dannon. And then Cheerios got that American Heart Association stamp of approval. And this was big for both of them. They're both large organizations, but it was an opportunity for both of them to co-brand and give consumers an opportunity to associate Cheerios with the American Heart Association and vice versa. So this allowed each of them to access a new market that maybe neither one of them was in. Sure, there's some crossover of people that eat Cheerios and donate to the American Heart Association, but now both of them were able to reach into each other's customer profiles and grab and access new markets. Now Cheerios got the American Heart Association donors to start eating Cheerios, and the American Heart Association got access to the Cheerios consumers so that people that were eating Cheerios might start donating to the American Heart Association. Really cool co-branding opportunity. Okay, so a strategic partnership is a carefully designed formal arrangement to serve a particular cooperative purpose or mutually beneficial advantage. Don't fall into the trap of forcing that relationship. Let it come along naturally, and don't jump into something that you don't think might be great. List your goals and identify potential matches. Seek mutual visions and mutual benefits for win-win-win relationships. And finally, be intentional and be patient. Okay, that's it for the strategic partnerships section. Don't forget to give feedback in the Facebook group and to attend office hours. This has been Drew Hackman with Nonprofits for the Future, the roadmap to new funding sources. See you soon.